What if everything you thought you knew about Africa was wrong? What if the continent labeled as the Dark Continent, a land supposedly without history, civilization, or contribution to humanity, was actually the cradle of some of the most advanced societies the world has ever seen? This is the story of a lie so pervasive it shaped centuries of exploitation, a lie that has been systematically dismantled by modern archaeology, carbon dating, and historical scholarship. Welcome to Myth-Busting History, where we uncover the truth behind the myths. Today, we expose the Dark Continent myth, a fabricated narrative constructed in the 15th to 19th centuries to justify slavery and colonial exploitation. This lie claimed that Africa was a primitive land, devoid of history or civilization. But the truth is far more astonishing. Africa was home to empires that rivaled and even surpassed those of Europe in their wealth, knowledge, and innovation. Let's begin with the Mali Empire, which ruled from 1230 to 1600. At its peak in the 14th century, Mali was the wealthiest nation in the world, larger than Western Europe, and controlled the gold salt trade. Its emperor, Mansa Musa, ruled from 1312 to 1337 and embarked on a pilgrimage to Cairo in 1324 that shocked the world. Accompanied by 12,000 slaves and carrying 60,000 pounds of gold, Mansa Musa's procession was a display of wealth so vast it devalued gold in Cairo for 12 years. Mali's dominance in the gold trade meant it controlled 90% of the world's gold supply, and its coins were used in European markets. But Mali was just the beginning. Great Zimbabwe, a stone city built between 1100 and 1450 CE, was a thriving trade hub connecting Africa to China and India. Carbon dating and archaeology confirmed that Great Zimbabwe was home to a population of 10,000 to 20,000 people. Its intricate stone structures, built without mortar, stand as a testament to the architectural genius of its builders. Great Zimbabwe traded gold, ivory, and copper with China, India, and the Middle East, as evidenced by Chinese porcelain and Persian glass found at the site. Then there's Timbuktu, a city in modern Mali that was a global center of knowledge by the 15th century. Timbuktu's universities, like Sankore, Madrasa, and Jingareba, housed between 180,000 and 250,000 manuscripts and attracted over 700,000 students. These manuscripts covered astronomy, mathematics, law, and medicine, many written in Arabic and indigenous African scripts like Ajami. Timbuktu's intellectual legacy was so profound that it rivaled the great centers of learning in Europe and the Middle East. But Africa's contributions didn't stop there. Carbon dating proves that African iron smelting in Uganda and Nigeria began as early as 500 BCE, predating European techniques by centuries. In 1879, European doctors in Uganda witnessed local healers performing caesarean sections using herbal anesthesia and sophisticated wound care, a technique Europe did not master until the 1880s. These examples shatter the myth that Africa was a land without innovation or scientific knowledge. The lie of the Dark Continent was not just a historical error, it was a deliberate fabrication designed to justify the transatlantic slave trade and colonial exploitation. From 1500 to 1850, European powers captured 12.5 million Africans, not sold by Africans, but taken by European ships. The wealth extracted from Africa funded the European Enlightenment, yet the narrative that Africa was primitive persisted. Colonial powers plundered Africa's minerals, crops, and animals using forced labor, interrupting the continent's progress and replacing its systems with foreign ones. The cultural destruction wrought by colonialism was immense. Evidence of advanced African medicine, technology, and wealth was destroyed, and the lie that these civilizations never existed was perpetuated. Today, this myth still shapes perceptions of Africa as a land of poverty and dependency. But historians are now disproving this myth and restoring Africa's true story of brilliance and innovation. The Dark Continent lie was a tool of scientific racism, a smokescreen for economic exploitation. It's time to reclaim Africa's history and recognize its contributions to the world. From Mali's gold to Timbuktu's manuscripts, from Great Zimbabwe's trade networks to Uganda's surgical mastery, Africa's legacy is one of greatness. This is the truth that the dark continent myth sought to erase, and it's a truth that deserves to be told.